can barely get my hat on straight. I'm so happy. Laker Nation, stand up. Laker Nation, stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, stand all the way up. It is our moment in time to shine. LeBron James just signed his extension, 2-year, $97 million, plus some extra 100,000. I didn't look at the point there, but he has an option for a third year of his choice, his player option. So he could come back for a third year as well. This is the best news ever. Best news ever. Do you know why this is the best news ever? First of all, it's because we're getting back literally the GOAT. Okay? Let's just leave that as it is. Yes, MJ's the GOAT. So is LeBron's the GOAT. I don't care. There's two GOATs. That's it. We have reimagined the word greatest, and that's just what it's going to be. All right? So there's two of them. We got one of them. Now, here's the deal. Not only is this fantastic because we're bringing back GOAT, but what we're also doing is settling down all waters. We have leverage beyond all understanding. We can start the season with Russell Westbrook if we have to. We can sit on both picks and not make no moves at all. We can spin around in a circle and sing Kumbaya, and it will be fine because no one can force us to do anything. Do you understand how much energy I have for this situation? LeBron James just saved the Lakers' backside and essentially just made it so that we can do whatever the heck we need to do in trade. And I trust beyond the shadow of a doubt that Jeannie will do everything necessary to ensure that she honors what it is this man's just done for us. He settled our stomach. That's what he did. He settled our stomach and he let us go back to the drawing board in regards to with this trade situation here and saying, all right, Bron's with us. So we can start the season with Westbrook, or you can take what it is that we're going to give you for Kyrie Irving. Either way, our situation is straight. We got all the leverage. Bron is on board. We got the A1 piece locked up, and that was the only thing teetering, keeping us from actually having secure leverage. He gave it to us. He gave us the leverage. Now it's up to the Lakers to do everything they can to make sure that they bring him the best possible team. Do not spare not a single coin. If it means throwing in picks from here to Texas, you do it. You do it. You just make sure that those picks are delegated properly. That's all I ask. You don't throw 4 picks in for a role player, nothing like that. I ain't saying that. I'm saying you make sure that assets are delegated properly is all. That's it. But don't spare nothing. We are all in on LeBron James timeline, man. He's carrying us home. We live and die with the guy. That's it. So that's what I'm on, man. I'm telling y'all, because otherwise, what we're doing is not honoring the fact that he just saved our backsides in this situation. You know, if we go back to the drawing board and just say, okay, we can start the season and not make any moves and not look to make any moves and just be stupid about the whole situation, which obviously we're not going to do, then we're not honoring LeBron James' decision to give us this leverage, to step out on a limb and give us this opportunity to have him in place without any concerns of him leaving this upcoming season. We don't have to think about trading him in the mid-season or nothing like that. We don't have to worry about answering questions about his free agency anytime soon. We get to extend what it is that we're trying to do in terms of starting the season with Russell Westbrook, which is not a bad thing if you're looking at the strategy of situations, because the later this drags out, I think the cheaper Kyrie Irving becomes. I really do believe that. By sheer nature, because it's a 1-year contract expiring, which means that every single game he plays on it this year should be extracted from the price, because that's one less game we had him for this season. So that's one reason to look at it. And the other reason is because you're assuming that if they haven't made the trade by then, it's because KD is held out and they haven't found a trade for him. So that's going to bring the price down on all their assets off of the sheer nature of that circumstance. So as we look at all of this, we are thrilled. This is the best possible outcome for us. I didn't expect this at all, to be honest with you. I was expecting LeBron James to continue to take his time on this process and wait for us to make a move to get Kyrie Irving, and maybe even some other moves as well to make sure this team is sharp. But I think he now fully understands that this actually needed to happen first in order for those moves to take place so that we can have the leverage to do the moves. And so then now that we have done this, I think we are in firm position to get everything that we want, so long as we're patient enough to make it happen for ourselves. We can do it. We can get Kyrie Irving, and we could probably even get Buddy Hield too. We may be able to get Kyrie Irving without giving up 2 picks at this point. even though we were willing to, which was a bad declaration we should not have made. But nevertheless, it's one of those situations where now that Bron is on point, on board with what we're doing, oh man, maybe we don't have to give up 2 picks. Maybe we can look at the situation and play hard ball with the Brooklyn Nets just like they've been playing hard ball with us. A game that we wouldn't be wise to play if we didn't have LeBron James inked on this extension. I got so much confidence right now in my franchise because of what's possible right now. We are in a great spot. And it ain't just because the King chose us once again. It's because we're in a position to get Kyrie Irving. We're in a position to get him. Now we can really get him. This is great. Brooklyn, you got screwed. I just want to tell you right now, you screwed yourself not doing a deal with the Lakers sooner. You should have took what we had for Kyrie Irving, in my humble opinion. But depending on how you look at your own situation, because obviously, if you think the KD situation still has some slight possibility of being resolved in your building, then maybe keeping Kyrie can help you with that. But I don't like that right now. That plan looks bad. So I personally think that trading Kyrie Irving for whatever it is that we would have done for that would have been the best way forward, so long as Westbrook didn't actually land with you. And I do stand on that. Sorry, Lakers. I think that they should try to find another spot for Russell Westbrook, because there's no way in heck or hell I'm bringing KD and Westbrook together for even 5 minutes, especially in this scenario. In this environment, there's no way I'm doing that. Not even for the sake of it just being a contract that I'm going to stretch. He's not being acquired. That's not going to be. You're not going to see Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook on the same list of names on this team at any given moment. If I'm Sean Marks, it's not happening. But we can still do the deal. Just make sure he lands in Indy or San Antonio or Utah, basically. No way in hell. So, me and Sean Marks have always been on the same page about that. Well, I said they should acquire the contract sometimes. I did say that here and there, but I don't feel that way right now. Let's be clear and precise. I have made my mind up. Absolutely not if I'm Brooklyn. However, third team should be easy to get because I know other teams want that contract just the same. So, all in all, this is a situation where the Lakers had a leverage to make it happen. We can do a deal. We can do a deal, and I hope we do a deal that lands not only Kyrie Irving, but also either Miles Turner or Buddy Hield. I want both of those 2 pieces. And that's ultimately what I think Rob wants as well. Heck, I think he wants all 3 pieces, honestly. I don't think we can get all 3 pieces, but I think that would be probably like the A1 plan there. But if only we had another pick in place, we could definitely do more. But this is a good situation, man. This is an amazing situation. LeBron James is returning to the Los Angeles Lakers. We don't have to worry about him going to anywhere else. Not that I was, to be honest with you. But this was the most important aspect of the situation. I think what this tells me is that LeBron James took a look at the landscape and realized that the best place for him to be over the next 2 years, as far as he could tell, was the Lakers. So it wasn't no sense in even playing hardball if him playing hardball was going to keep us from getting the player that we needed. I think he came to that conclusion as clear as I just said it. Like, if I'm here, I'm here. And if there's a strategy to get what I want, then this is the move that we need to make. And the move we need to make will sign, not sign. You know what I mean? So it's just about how you get to the place you're trying to go. Either way, this is super exciting. I think 11's going to be wearing purple and gold very soon. I'm really, really hopeful that is the case. I think his tenure with the Lakers could be really, really special, especially if he's intentional on just taking on whatever the role would be, as Darvin Ham said, and doing that role. And if he can give us that, fall in love with what it means to put on this uniform, which I think LeBron James obviously has in signing that extension, we're going to get us a team that can do some things. Now, can we beat the field? Who knows? I don't know. If you look at it head on, you probably say no. But what I also know is you don't know what this team can do until you put it together. And once you get a talent like Kyrie Irving next to LeBron James, once again, they've proven they can already do some great things. They ain't never played with Anthony Davis together. So that is something that I think could be great. Anthony Davis looks good. I'm sure he's still continuing to work on his habits that he's established over the last several months, staying healthy, taking care of his body, getting ready for the load, and he has help in his front court this year. He ain't going to be asked to do it by himself, and he ain't going to be asked to do it with Bron. We got Bryant in place. We got Huff in place. Hopefully, we call him up because I know he's a big time guy that we need to start developing and grooming to be a center for us. Of course, we also have SGA, a few other guys as well. Who am I forgetting, man? Um, Gosh, a few other guys. The guy we got from Sacramento that we had, Jones, of course. So we got some size down there. AD is going to have help. Braun is going to have help. And so now it's about the shooting, man. I'm curious to see if the Lakers can swindle a way to get one of those Brooklyn shooters as well. Very curious to see if we're actually going to do that. I know Joe Harris's contract is not ideal. The injury is also a concern. But at the end of the day, that's a pure sharpshooter. And if we can get him into good shape, even if he's just a role player for us, he can do some key damage for our team. And given the fact that he didn't look that great last time he was healthy for Brooklyn, it does cause for pause with his contract and injury. But at the end of the day, we know what he can do. He's won 2 3-point contests already in his short career. So that'll let you know how elite of a shooter that is. You want him. So, yeah, super exciting stuff, man. Braun is back. Braun is back. We don't have to continue to sit and just prepare for, walking on tightrope as it pertains to this trade situation. We want to be strong and steadfast in what it is that we want to do, but at the same time, if we don't have the leverage to do it, we're just kind of sitting there holding nothing. So Braun gave us something to hold, and that is his contract in place as leverage against whomever wants to make us do something that we don't want to do. So congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers organization. That's the most important things that need to be said. You have kept LeBron James in place now for a guaranteed 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. We've had him for 4, and he signed on for 2, and he might have a 7th year. So that is something that didn't look possible 10 years ago. When Jim Buss was here, when we had a squad that wasn't very talented, when we didn't have nothing but draft picks and no players to show for it, and Kobe Bryant, who was on the tail end of his career trying to give us the best he had, this didn't look possible. But you look at where we are now, and you can just say that the Genie Bus did what she needed to do to clean house, to create an environment for which a championship can be won again. And looks like she's going to have a chance at another one too. I don't know if we can get it this year, but as long as we have LeBron James guaranteed for another year, I love us going into that season with the pieces that we're creating for this season. So we're on our way. We're going to be competitive, and teams are going to have to deal with us. So that's what I have to say, man. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.